After what seemed to be the worst week in FPL history, we are back with a bang. Can I improve my squad with differential picks, long-term planning, and just that little bit of luck? Let's take a look at my latest team selection video. Let's just start off with the back line. Of course, Areola remains in net because he has got the superior fixtures to Turner. In about 3 weeks' time, we could have a debate whether to start Turner or Areola. However, Turner, he's lost his place, I think. And now, it doesn't matter, for the next few weeks because we're going to play Areola anyway. However, he seems to have lost his place now. Perhaps we could just do a straight switch from Turner to this new goalkeeper. I'm very sorry, I cannot pronounce his name for the life of me. But the other option for Forest seems, I think, used to be cheaper. But yeah, for now, Areola's going to stay in. I think I'm just going to leave that transfer to later when I can afford to, because no one really wants to be making a transfer for a goalkeeper that's going to sit on your bench. You know, you want to make improvements to your squad that's going to start. So, on that note, what we did last week, we brought in Gahey from Crystal Palace. And now this was a really good move, and I think it's going to be a good move going forward. Okay, a lot of people are talking about Crystal Palace defenders, Anderson and the likes of Gahey as well. Mitchell, of course, is popping up a little bit, but minutes do worry me a little bit there, because it seems when I've been watching he gets rotated just a little bit, but I could be completely wrong on that front. He could be a firm starter right now. But yeah, Gahey is in my team and will remain in my team for the foreseeable future. Same with Trippier. I feel like, yes, the fixtures are bad, and I had a debate about this on my TikTok. If you want to go check out that video, go check it out now. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep Trippier. Now, for me, Newcastle, yes, they might get less clean sheets, but I think the risk reward is very high for Trippier. You know, you're not going to get that clean sheet. If you do, it's going to be crazy hauls like we had last week. But those assists and those bonus points seem to keep pumping out for Trippier, and it's actually really, really nice just to keep your team ticking along. Like, even though I had an awful week last week, as did everybody in FPL, if you got over 30 points, you did amazing last week. But Trippier getting them that 9-pointer really boosted my team up, and if I didn't have him, I think I could have been in trouble. And Cash, yes, he's flagged in FPL, but we don't have any information right now, so we can't act upon that. If it is the case he's out, you know, you could just make a swap to Digne, but I do not want to touch that man. I don't like owning Digne, and I never have in FPL. He just seems to be the ultimate troll, getting cards, this, that, and the other, missing open chances, just wasting chances as well, like he did last week against Forest. Forest, by the way, absolutely dominated Aston Villa. What a performance by them. But yeah, I think the defence is going to stay like that until we get news on Cash. Looking at the bench, the two defenders on the bench, Kabore and Tariq Lamptey. Lamptey, I think he could be back, but I don't necessarily think he's going to be starting anytime soon. With Kabore, yes, he got that assist against Liverpool, but you know, it's Luton. They're not going to do this every week. And, you know, Luton at home, possibly you could start playing Kabore if the fixtures are bad for those who are starting. But I think I need to switch one of these two on defence just to a more improved option. Because in the next few weeks, it seems that my defenders are all going to have hard fixtures. And if I can just rotate somebody in to support that, I think it could be a good move. Now, the midfield remains unchanged, as a lot of my team will do up until that deadline, as we're just waiting on more information. Maddison flagged. He came off early, against Chelsea, but that was simply because the 2 red cards. What a crazy game that was. But let's just talk about Spurs assets. Of course, I've moved on Udogie, as you can see, from Mark Gay. Maddison could be the next one to move. Now, I enjoy watching Spurs. I love how they play. However, with the key players they're now going to be missing, I think that weakens their side a lot more than we think. Van de Ven being out with a somewhat serious injury, it seems, that Postecoglou said. Romero and Udogie both being, of course, suspended. You're now going to look at a weaker side. And yes, Maddison carries the Spurs team and progresses them forward. However, I think it's going to be more difficult for him to do so, and especially with their fixtures they've got coming up. Now, of course, Wolves on this slide, fantastic, but then they've got Villa, City, West Ham, Newcastle, and Forest away. Now, I actually think these are really bad fixtures for Spurs. If they had all of their available squad, perhaps I would keep them. But because of the suspensions, because of the injuries, I think it's time to move on. Even Human Son could be time to move on. That sounds wild. We couldn't have said that a few weeks ago. But that really could be the move going forward in my team. Salah, Diaby, and Dringa will all stay in my team. But the people I'm really looking at the moment is, of course, Matoma, Kudus, and Mbeumo. Now, Matoma and Mbeumo have a really good rotation around the game week 14 mark, game week 15 mark, when Mbeumo's fixtures turn and Matoma's kind of turn for the worst in a way. So that could be a little rotation we bring in, especially with that Sheffield United at home fixture for Andringa and Matoma. Of course, Andringa just remains in the team. He's a great differential. He seems to be getting the minutes, but he's just not getting the points, and it's a bit frustrating. But at the price we've paid, I don't think we can really complain. He starts. He seems to be getting minutes. Let's hope that continues going forward. Diaby is just going to stay. I think we need to give this man time. His fixtures are running out, it seems, though. Fulham, Spurs, Bournemouth, City, Arsenal, Brentford. It's not ideal. You want to be playing him for, of course, Fulham and Bournemouth. Possibly even Spurs now because of the suspensions. I'm not sure if Van der Ven will be back by then, but it seems to be worse than just a few weeks rest for Van der Ven, but hopefully Van der Ven is fit and well because I really like that man. I hope he's doing okay because that looked a brutal injury. But yeah, midfield for now, it seems to be where most of my changes are going to be. The likes of Mbeumo, Matoma and Kudus all on my watch list at the moment. Now, these two, of course, are my front line and will be for a long time. Haaland, it's a bit strange at the moment. There's a lot of talk about getting rid of Haaland. He came off at half-time as a precaution in his last match. I'm not sure. He does score goals. He does. He's 14 million, though. And I feel like I could improve a lot of my team. The likes of Trent, Darwin Núñez, Alvarez, Saka, people like that could come into my team if I get rid of Haaland. But you're facing 82% ownership, and I just think it's not in the question now. I don't think we can debate this topic. I think we have to keep him. And yes, you may not have Haaland right now. Some people went away from Haaland because of the bad fixtures. In the next 4 games, he might not score a goal. You've got Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs, and Aston Villa. All difficult games against decent sides. Chelsea, obviously, not a great side. Even though they beat Spurs 4-1, they were crap. And I honestly thought Spurs could have won that game with 9 men up until the last few minutes. It was crazy. So that could be a great opportunity for him to score goals. If you don't have Haaland, I don't think it's a rush to bring him back in, to be honest. I think game week 16, you really need to be owning Haaland. You've got Luton, Palace, Everton, and United, Sheffield United, that is, in game week 20. Those are important games. So game week 16, as long as you have Haaland, then I don't think there's too much to worry. But that 82% ownership terrifies me, and I don't think I can really justify that move anymore. I think it's past the point where I would do it in my squad. Watkins, difficult fixtures. Really difficult fixtures. You've got Fulham, Spurs, Bournemouth. Yes, you can keep him for those. And from 15, you've got City, Arsenal, Brentford. A nice fixture with Sheffield United. Then followed by United, Burnley and Everton. You could hold. You really could. And the way Aston Villa are playing, it's nice to have that option of Watkins because he's really popping off at the moment. But there could be an option to move along. And now I'm not sure how I would really get in for Watkins, because I really want to target the midfield. I think my midfield is the weakest section of my squad, simply because you've got the likes of Andringa, minutes risk, although he is playing good minutes at the moment. Maddison and Son, having those suspensions and injuries, going to weaken their side. I need to improve those. The only people I really want to keep within that midfield is Salah and possibly Diaby, because of the way and position he is playing. But as a whole, I'm happy with my team, but I feel as though Maddison could be moved out, Son could be moved out, and Andringa could be improved upon. So the likes of Matoma, Mbeumo, and Kudus are all on my watch list, and I think you guys should just have a little look at those players as well. That is going to wrap up everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched to this point now, please consider dropping a like and a subscribe. It's going to support me growing this channel. Hopefully these videos are supporting you in your FPL journeys. Now, I post short form content all over TikTok, answering hot topic questions and giving you all the details in FPL, and hopefully you like those videos as well, so go check that out now. But that is everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.